I met Michelle 3 years ago on Facebook. She just seemed like a normal, nice lady. There was a time where she broached the subject, flying my daughters and I out to SeaWorld on her dime, and she said she was going to foot our bill for the room and board as well. I thought, what a great opportunity, and why not take advantage of a very nice lady doing a very nice favor for me. Last week or two before she was actually going to punch the ticket and get everything rolling, her health took a turn for the worse. Turns out she had terminal ovarian cancer, which was tragic. And that's when she decided to leave me part of her estate. She actually was leaving me a car, and she also was going to give me a ring. I was absolutely flattered and very touched. The day after she passed, Michelle's sister, Suzanne, sent me a text message introducing herself, and she asked if I could call her. I never knew Michelle had a sister. It never came up in our 3 years of conversation, let alone a twin sister. My main interest, of course, was helping Suzanne in any way I could to both expedite and probate the will. All of a sudden, I get this text. She told me that she was starting to develop feelings for me, and I was very uncomfortable with that notion. I took a deep breath and thought to myself, what can I possibly say so I don't offend this lady? I said, you are welcome to feel that way. I don't know that I share the same sentiment. And that's when things kind of went belly up. She flipped out on me. I was completely blown away by how abrupt and how abrasive her comments were. But some of the exact verbiage was, well then fine, you're not gonna get anything. You were just using my sister anyway, and you don't deserve anything, and goodbye forever. And that's when I decided I had to play this game with her and be in this pseudo relationship with her in order to keep her happy, so I can get my things.
Well, Ryan is so committed to receive what he believes is rightfully his from Michelle's will that he has led her twin sister, Suzanne, on to the point that she has even set a wedding date.
Ryan and I, as of today, have been dating 4.5 months. If you were to talk to him now, he would say, yeah, that's my girlfriend.
I'm allowing her to believe that she's my girlfriend. It's part of that peace of mind that I get keeping her happy.
He would say that he wants to make love to me. He loves me, he misses me.
I do say I love her, but I know there's different variations and different degrees of love. Is it a romantic love? No.
He wouldn't say, I'm in love with you. It would always just be, I love you.
She's luckily never asked me to define what kind of love it is. It's never come to that, thank goodness.
We had discussed getting married a year from the day our first date was, which is September 9th, 2017.
She will bring up ideas about the marriage, and I kind of just tongue-in-cheek it, smile and play, yeah, okay, that's fine. That's probably could be a great idea. And I let her go with it.
I've looked at wedding dresses, I've looked at venues, I've looked at banquet halls. I've even done an online wedding registry.
I have no desire to be in a romantic relationship with her, let alone marriage. Absolutely not.
Well, Ryan, good to meet you. You're in a pickle.
Big time.
Because she's got the control.
Yes.
She's got the power because she's the executor, right?
Correct.
And you were in a relationship, an online relationship with Michelle for how long?
3 years.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe her?
Michelle was extremely kind, extremely thoughtful, very complimentary, just a absolute gem of a woman.
What did you guys have in common? What was it that bonded the two of you together?
We have an LDS faith. We both have daughters. I have 2, she has 1. And we kind of connected on some of those levels, never anything on a romantic level. Right. We never even physically met. When
Michelle passed away, is that when you learned that she had left you? We're talking here like $250,000 worth of, I mean, this was an Audi R8, right?
Correct.
That's like $150,000 or something, and a substantial piece of jewelry.
Correct.
Was that a surprise to you?
Absolutely.
Why do you think she did that?
Well, she felt, in what I later found out in her journal that she gave me, that she's, and also in her will, she said, Ryan, whom I love. Love is a very umbrella statement. There's several different degrees of love. She never told me that she loved me, but we had a very strong connection as far as our faith, our missions that we had served, a lot of different things in common.
And you received her journal, right?
Yes.
This is the journal.
Yes.
There's a passage in 2012 that says, I also started talking to a guy named Ryan. He seemed like a nice guy. He was much younger than me. I was afraid to ask him out, knowing I could be rejected. My cancer kept going into remission. Ryan got married, and that broke my heart. I was not about to tell him my feelings now. So that was something that she was maybe deeper into this than than you were.
I didn't know she had those feelings for me. She never communicated
Were you
those
surprised when you read them in the journal?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now you've got a twin sister on
Correct.
on the table here, and these things that Michelle wanted you to have, she's kind of holding those hostage.
Absolutely.
How did you find out that Michelle finally passed away?
There was a tenant that lived in Michelle's home who actually messaged me on a text message, the same phone that Michelle had been using all along. And she informed me of the news, telling me that the coroner was coming to the house to take care of the business. And then a day or two later, that's when I finally heard from Suzanne.
Did they get along or not? Why did Michelle never mention she had a twin sister?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
She kind of moved into Michelle's position plus some. She wanted this to go further.
Correct.
But you've actually played along with that.
I have had to, yes.
So you're letting her believe that you are a boyfriend.
To an extent, yes.
After Michelle passed away, I was checking her Facebook page and we were going to post like a little memorial. I reached my hand out to Ryan and say, I'm offering my condolences. I'm her twin. If there's anything you need, please let me know. Michelle and I talked a lot about Ryan. We used to say, you know, how cute he was, how she'd think he would look really hot in a pair of jeans, and what would he be like romantically somewhere down the line. I started having a little bit of feelings. He is drop dead gorgeous. There is an adorable picture Michelle had, and he is just a dream and great eyes. I wanted to meet the man that my sister was in love with. I wanted to see what he was like. I was very nervous to go meet him. My heart was pounding. As I get closer, I'm thinking, is he a stalker, or is he the hopeless romantic Prince Charming that I'm looking for? When I got there, I let him know what room I was in. I opened up the door, and he gave me a hug, and he said, it's so good to see you. We went to a wonderful steakhouse, and we sat and we laughed and we had a great conversation. When we got back in the hotel room, we were just like high school sweethearts. He goes, I know you're tired, let me give you a nice massage. He goes, that will help you sleep for the night. There was no sexual touching. I felt the sparks go through my body, you know, and I'm like, wow, this guy can really work me over. And I thought, there's a connection between him and I.
Okay, it's good to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
And I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Obviously. How long has it been since the two of you have seen each other in person?
Almost a month.
Uh-huh. And what were you doing?
We went and saw a movie. We actually saw 2 movies. We went to dinner.
Uh-huh.
So
And
had to spend some time with the girls.
yeah. And who paid for all of that?
I did.
Yeah. Why? Why do you pay for everything?
Good question. Really good question.
Thank you.
I wish he would, but he just doesn't.
Yeah. Why does she pay for everything?
She offers to. I say I would love to, but she says, nope, I got this.
Why do you always offer?
I don't offer. I know he doesn't have the money.
When was it that your sister passed?
End of July.
And tell me what your grief process has been since then.
I cry. I cry a lot. I get angry. I get angry at Ryan. You know, it's hurtful, very hurtful.
And when you were you with her at the very end?
Yes.
Do you recall the last thing she said to you?
The very last thing she said to me was make sure Ryan's taken care of and treat him right.
So her last thoughts were of him. Mm-hmm. And what was the last thing you said to her?
I said, I will. I will not hurt him.
Mm-hmm. And had you seen the will?
Yes, I have.
Ahead of time before she passed?
Yes.
You knew that he was in the will?
Yes, I did.
And you knew that her wish was for him to have the assets that were mentioned in the will?
Yes.
Why haven't you given them to him?
Because there are things that him and I, you know, there's things that I'm very cautious about. His actions, as well as, you know.
But they weren't your assets, and it wasn't your intention. They were her assets, and it was her intention.
No, I understand that. But if Ryan and I are in a relationship right now, I'm very cautious about giving my sister's assets to him what he's doing.
But that wasn't your call, that was her call. She said, I want him to have these things.
Right, but I don't think she saw Ryan's hand agreed.
His hand agreed.
His hand agreed.
Well, that's an unusual phrase, hand of greed. What does that mean?
It means, honey, can you buy me this? Honey, can you buy me that? You know, a real man, I think, would step up and say, you know, let me buy this, or let me take care of this.
So, who typed up the will?
She typed,
a lawyer? Or?
No, she typed it up,
right.
But she was under so much morphine and everything.
She thought it was you dying?
No.
Why would she write your name?
Her and I both, at the time, we both looked identical. Even Ryan, when I met Ryan, he had a double take, didn't you?
That was long ago.
Okay.
What?
Every picture I ever had of Michelle was very fuzzy, so I never saw an accurate picture.
Okay, it's interesting that you mentioned pictures, because we have been all over Facebook, we've been all over social media, we've gotten stuff from you. We've never seen a picture of you with your sister.
Her and I was actually the black sheep of the family.
So they never...
I wasn't the welcome child, but her and I never...
Who is this?
That is Michelle.
That's Michelle.
Yes, that is yes.
Okay,
That
who's
is-
this?
That is her.
That's her. Okay. Who's this?
That is her.
Who's that?
That is her.
We asked for a family photo, and
I could not find our family photos in time.
well, we got this one. Who's that?
That is her with our brother. That is her. That's Michelle's husband, and the half-sister, and one of the children, and our brother's wife.
And why are you not in that picture?
Because I wasn't welcomed.
What'd you do? What'd you do that made them mad?
Got upset with the family.
You got upset with the family?
Yes.
Michelle Jacqueline has a daughter,
Yes.
and she's 16.
Yes.
And she texted you
Correct.
asking some questions about what was going to happen and how you were going to treat her aunt, right?
Correct.
November of last year said, Dear Ryan, how are you? I miss chatting with you. As you have heard, I am knocked up. I have a question for you. Are you and my aunt ever going to let me come visit or even live with you? Or am I just going to be a bastard child? When do I get to talk to my aunt? She says you have made her happy. How are your girls? Then December 8th, she says, so now that I have a upset and heartbroken aunt, I would like some answers. What did you do to her? She drove all the way to Vegas to see me, take me shopping for a few hours, and it was not pleasant. All she did was cry and tell me you were chatting with single girls. I thought you loved her. I wanted us to all be a family. I even wanted you and her to adopt my babies. Does she have more than one baby?
She did.
She did.
She did.
Does she now?
She only has one. We lost it because it was just too preemie and it just was not healthy.
It passed away?
Correct.
Was it stillborn or?
No, it was not stillborn. It was only 2.5 pounds.
Okay. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.